Dying Light, the Beast, weapons overview. Let's get to it. This is interesting.
Hi, I'm Nathan Lemaire, game director for Dying Light the Beast. In
Let's
Dying
get
Light
it.
the Beast, we focused on expanding the weapons you use and how you interact with them in the world of Castor Woods. From familiar tools of survival to some exciting new additions, we have crafted a diverse arsenal that's meant to keep you on your toes. In the next few minutes, I am going to take you through some of the changes and innovations we have made with weapons in this game, and why they are a key part of your journey through Castor Woods. In Dying Light the Beast, we wanted to take everything we've learned from designing weapons in the franchise and elevate it further. While playing, you'll still come across familiar weapons, from the trusty machete to the heavy two-handed weapons that players know and love. But we also wanted to push beyond that. We still focus mainly on melee weapons, but firearms are one of the distinct elements from the game. They are more present than ever before. Introduced earlier,
more
and
gunplay.
with greater variety. However, you need to be cautious. The noise from firearms can attract more infected, so use them wisely. Survival is at the heart of Dying Light the Beast, and that philosophy is reflected in how we designed and distributed weapons. Melee weapons have durability, and if you use them too much, they will break. However, you can repair them.
I don't know, like weapon durability in games, it does force you to think on your toes. Like The Last of Us was good for that. Last of Us 1 and 2. And like the Zelda Breath of the Wild, like a lot of games that have weapon durability, and you know, it depends. For me, it depends on how it's done. It depends on how it's done. I don't know. So I'll save my comments on that.
Directly through the weapon wheel or inventory, provided you have the necessary resources. Lower rare weapons tend to break more often, but are cheaper to repair, while higher end weapons last longer but require more resources to maintain.
Fair.
As you explore, you will encounter what we call opportunity weapons. Everyday items people once used for regular tasks that are now repurposed for survival. Whether it's an old pipe or a farm fork, these are the types of weapons you'll start with, reinforcing the survivalist experience. But the best weapons are the ones you'll find through exploration. Castor Woods is full of hidden gems. Whether it's a dark zones containing a valuable weapon, or a dangerous encounter with Baronmans guarding key areas. We wanted to make sure players get early exposure to a variety of weapon types, giving them the chance to choose a playstyle that works best for them. We wanted to reward players who venture off the beaten path, showing them that in a world full of danger, taking risks can lead to great rewards. Additionally, we have added new weapon types that have never been seen in the franchise.
Like, I think playing with the HUD off, if that's possible, would be a vibe. Like, this game looks crazy with the HUD off. It makes you look. It's more immersive, in my opinion.
Additionally, full grenade launcher. This weapon is incredibly versatile, letting you use various types of grenades to adapt to different situations. Assuming you've explored enough to gather resources you need for crafting them, but I am totally in love with our new flamethrower. Not only it does look incredible, thanks to all the detail our artists and animators put into it, but it's also one of the best weapons for crowd control. Ammunition for it can be a bit scarce, but I use it all the time when I'm surrounded or need to clear out a room full of infected. It's incredibly satisfying.
That fire animation looks, well, fire.
We have also created some unique, visually stunning variants of existing weapons that you can find in special locations. So be sure to keep an eye out for those. Trust me, there are more surprises in store, but I don't want to spoil it all to you now. We want to discover some of them yourselves while playing the game. As you can see, weapons play a crucial role in surviving the dangers of Castor Woods. We have worked hard to make sure that every weapon has its purpose and is meaningful in combat and exploration. Whether you're using everyday items to fight for survival or unlocking powerful, game-changing weapons, there's always something new to discover.
Nice, that is dope. And they have extended gameplay and a first preview. That is dope, man. This game is gonna be something else. I think. Hold on, we might fuck around and you know what? Let's do it. Let's go 2 for 1. Let's watch the first preview as well. I'll watch the 30-minute gameplay thing on my own. Let's just watch the first preview. Hold that. Nah, he had to been tweaking off something to rip a monster's head off like that. That's crazy. Hold on. All right, we had some technical difficulties. We back.
So much of Dying Light is informed by the series' melee-first design. Its impact can be seen in the damage system that causes its grotesque zombies to fall apart with every slash of your blade, as well as the weapon crafting, which turns household tools into hilariously impractical killing machines. And of course, it influences the parkour movement, which allows you to keep well away from chewing teeth and clawing hands. So what happens when you add guns to this close quarters formula? And I don't mean one or two rusty pistols, but a whole armory stocked with shotguns, assault rifles, and plentiful ammo. That's a question posed by the next game in the series, Dying Light the Beast. The answer is not the obvious one. Far from transforming into a regular first-person shooter, guns have turned Techland's latest into something that feels closer to Crysis, or even, if you squint a bit, Dishonored. They're another layer of an increasingly varied toolset that ensures every encounter is a sandbox solved by your own rules. For this month's IGN First, I was able to play an hour-long mission from an early section of Dying Light the Beast. This meant stepping into the combat boots of Kyle Crane, the returning protagonist from the original Dying Light. Held hostage and experimented on for 13 years by a shadowy figure known only as the Baron, I joined Kyle a few hours into his quest for revenge. Deep within the new, much more rural zone of Castor Woods, I infiltrate one of the Baron's factories. And, standing on the facility's roof, I realise my options are more varied than the last time I played Dying Light.
Yeah, apparently this is like not...
Using Kyle's heightened survivor senses, a benefit of all those experiments he endured, I'm able to highlight the patrolling members of the Baron's militia. Some are marked in orange while others are red, an indication of who is armed with melee weapons or guns respectively. It's a colour-coded threat level that helps me set up a plan of action. Yes, it's all very Batman Arkham.
Yeah, apparently this is like a pre-sequel. It's like in between the games.
I start right in front of me with a blissfully unaware bowman. Approaching silently, I perform a melee takedown using a shiv I've crafted, much faster than choking him out, and then swipe the bow from his corpse. Bows were, of course, in Dying Light 2, but kept out of reach until the back half of the game. Their earlier introduction in the Beast promises a greater level of engagement options across the campaign, especially considering their ranged stealth potential.
Right, I like to get stealthy. I'm an MGS Splinter Cell kind of guy.
Man's buddies, including a rifle-wielding sniper on the opposite roof. No one hears him slump to the floor, so I'm free to parkour across and add his gun to my collection. Once again, my engagement opportunities expand. No longer limited to firing single arrows and enduring long draw speeds, I can take out groups of charging melee enemies before they make it into striking range. Although everyone around me will know exactly what's going on. Might as well make a spectacle of it then.
Right. If you're going to draw attention, you might as well light it up.
A further 2 riflemen, a squad of brawlers, and, delightfully, a pile of explosive gas canisters await. The dive triggers a slow motion effect. It's hardly the slick bullet time of Max Payne and the old Fear games, feeling more as if you're suddenly travelling through sticky air rather than becoming John Wick, but it nonetheless successfully emphasises Kyle's military background.
The game looks good too. This game looks really good.
Encounters have graduated into a space similar to Crysis and Far Cry's sandboxes. Using Kyle's survivor sense allows you to methodically remove enemies with guns from the playing field before going toe-to-toe with less dangerous foes. Flowing fluidly from stealth takedowns to silent headshots to shell-sputtering shootouts allowed me greater control over the space than I've come to expect from the typically messy melees of Dying Light 2. Combined with the parkour, which makes a respectable stand-in for teleportation, there's even a little of Dishonored strategy to be found here too, albeit less elegant in execution. My hope is that, beyond the boundaries of this demo, there are encounters that encourage a strong variety of approaches.
I'm sure there are.
A reason to be hopeful. As I explore Castor Woods, I encounter a zombie wearing a battery pack that detonates on contact, sending arcing forks of electricity through the horde. Another wears an explosive canister on its back. Just one good shot will turn him and his buddies into barbecue. Talking of seared flesh, I later acquire a flamethrower. It's clear that there are plenty of toys to experiment with, and I hope that Techland is playful enough to use these elements to coax players into cleverly absurd solutions for clearing out the undead and deadly alike. It's worth noting that Techland has upped its game when it comes to stealth too. The bow, shivs, and tools like throwing knives are naturally all very good at silently dispatching human opponents, but there's now a method for quietly avoiding zombies too. Taking more than a few pages from the Walking Dead's book, you can now smear yourself in undead guts in order to mask your human scent, and then casually walk through the horde. It's a simple stealth tool, but one that's incredibly evocative of the fiction Dying Light revels in.
Back up off me. This is looking good so far.
Kyle isn't special because he can use a gun or take a bath in a zombie's insides. Those aforementioned experiments have turned him into the titular beast. It's
super
a
soldier.
Story to that of Aiden Caldwell, the protagonist of Dying Light 2. But where Aiden's infection gave him some zombie-like superhuman abilities, Kyle has become something much closer to a leaping wrecking ball. Triggered at will after taking and dealing enough damage to fill a meter, Beast Mode allows you to tear regular enemies apart with gory animations akin to Doom's glory kills. A thunderous ground pound violently throws foes to the 7 winds. Using it indoors is effectively a screen wipe attack, sending zombies splattering into the walls and ceiling. All this came in handy against the demo's final boss, a towering chimera zombie
He
known
ripped
as
his
a
head
behemoth,
off, yeah.
which is capable of hurling engine blocks and concrete boulders across the arena. The behemoth has a number of easily recognized attack patterns, but the challenge is in its resilience, as well as the number of minions that shamble after you. With Beast Mode engaged, I was able to easily clear those mobs and inflict big damage spikes against the boss. But as much as going toe-to-toe with another beast is good fun, I'm actually more interested in the utility aspects of Kyle's mutations. Techland tells me that playtesters have used Beast Mode's extended leap ability to bypass entire parkour challenges, and so it's the unconventional use of these abilities that promise to join the likes of guns and camouflaging yourself with guts in ensuring that the beast feels like a meaningful upgrade over its predecessor.
Did you manage to kill it?
Yeah.
The scope of this demo was pretty limited. In fact, it was largely a playable version of the hands-off presentation I saw at Gamescom last year, and so there is almost certainly more to see in time. But being able to wander around this small slice of the world on my own time allowed me to enjoy some of the smaller details. The world feels like a substantial upgrade over Dying Light 2. Not so much in level design, although much of what I liked about the Old Town section of Villador returns, but in atmosphere. The new weather effects system is exceptional, with storms drenching the landscape in heavy rain and winds whipping trees, bushes and long grass into a frenzy.
I wonder what he played this on. Like, what did he demo this on? PC, PlayStation, Xbox?
And when the sun sets, the light really does die. It's nearly impossible to see during the witching hour, forcing you to sparingly use your flashlight to navigate between the patrol paths of the much more difficult nighttime terrors. Longtime fans who pine for the scarier nights of the first game should hopefully be well catered for.
Yeah, because the nighttime, they get stronger. And there's
When I left
boredom.
my appointment with Techland at Gamescom last year, I was somewhat skeptical as to how guns would affect the core ideas that Dying Light is built on. Naturally, the studio wanted to show off its new toys, and that hands-off demo was largely played as a shooter. But having had the opportunity to play myself, in which I had the agency to choose when and where guns were deployed, I quickly learned that firearms are just one component of Dying Light the Beast, not the main attraction. Their addition, alongside what feels like a strengthened inclusion of the bow and the series' many trademark DIY melee solutions, made the demo's encounters feel richer and more textured. Each combat scenario felt like a problem with a dozen solutions, rather than the melee mosh pits that I typically found myself in while playing Dying Light 2. The question now is how all this evolves over the wider game. There are several tools and weapons that I didn't get extensive or any time at all with, such as the aforementioned flamethrower and oddities like a throwable shot knife. And so my hope is that the Beast constantly adds weapons with unique utilities to the toolkit. And then, of course, there's your mutations. Each chimera you kill allows you to inject more freaky DNA into your veins and unlock a skill
hell no.
powers.
Yeah, he really is the beast.
I can only hope that the further down those branches you go, the more wild your ability set becomes. And provided the campaign continues to offer up interesting challenges that encourage the use of both abilities and tools, then I think the Beast could be a much more interesting sequel than it initially appears to be. For more from Dying Light the Beast, check out our extended gameplay footage and stay with IGN all through the month of June as we bring you even more inside looks at the game. And for everything else, stick with IGN.
Yeah, the beast, man. The beast. Oh, let me mute this. Hold on. All right, so Dying Light the Beast. So this game takes place somewhere in between the games. So it's not like this is not Dying Light 3. So just so you know, but yeah, this game's emphasis is more on varied gameplay. It has like some extra firearms you can use, like the flamethrower you see here. There's an assault rifle, there's a shotgun, there's a pistol, and then being that part of the story is you're being experimented on, the main character from Dying Light, you're being experimented on, and they're injecting you with this infection, and you get superhuman like powers, so you get to use them. So you get to fill up a meter, and you get to go into what's called beast mode, and you get to go crazy. Like there's this crazy part where he like rips the this monster's head off. It's crazy, and then he can take his powers. So yeah, that's dope. We can't wait for that. But yeah, so Dying Light. I'm trying to get back to that part with the where he rips the head off. There we go. It's back here. Crazy. Wow. And then yeah, like this is gonna be. I can't wait to see like whenever these type of games come out. I can't wait to see like the pro players, those people that play like on the hardest difficulty, and they make it look easy because they play it for like 30 hours a day and shit. Like I know there's gonna be some crazy compilations in this game as well, and it looks really good. The game looks really good. Like I have to applaud them on the graphics. It looks pretty good to me. It looks like they're going for a more realistic kind of look. So some parts do kind of look a little off, but I think that's on purpose. Like it's not off as in bad, but like off as in like not super polished, but that's a good thing because like you're in a post-apocalyptic world. Everything's not going to be all clear and clean and shit like that. So I like that. So yeah, but y'all let me know how y'all feel about this game. Y'all saw the weapons, you saw the combat. Let me know what y'all think. All right, so you already know the vibes. Like, comment, subscribe, all that good stuff. It's your boy JusticeXFalls, and we out. One.